What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happened in the scale world of RC over the past week. And last week, there was a lot of it. A lot. Bunch of new stuff, some just news that you probably have heard about. And with that, hit the like button before we get started. Hit the subscribe button as well. Let's jump into this week's topics. First for this week, FMS released. This is how the news is going to go this week. They released a new FCX24 Chevy Blazer, fully licensed Blazer in 1/24 scale. So full, big body style, hard body FCX24, not an SCX, but Anyway, if you know the current FCX24 with the power dug on it, then this will be right in line with it, just with a blazery body. So check that out, just released. Next, Redcat to the rescue. Releasing the 26ers. These are their big wheels. 2.6-inch wheels, and it's kind of a cool package how they have this set together. They showed it on one of their live Facebook videos that they do kind of weekly. They showed off this wheel package that they'll be releasing, and inside of the package you get 4 of the hoops, the outer hoop or rim of the wheel, and then you get 3 different face styles. So you buy this one package and you have a number of different options on how to change things up, as well as the ability to kind of play with some offsets on them. Standard 12mm in case you want to put 26ers on something that's not just a normal Redcat lowrider. The opportunities are endless. These look good, and they're going to come in both a gold or a chrome, and some of the other parts are available separately, so you could be mixing and matching finishes, gold barrel, chrome face, or chrome barrel, gold face. Tons of options. They killed it on this one. This is a winner. Speaking of wheels, RC 4-wheel drive has some new 1.9s. They've got these Sasquatch wheels. If you're looking to do some squatching, you can check these things out. They have kind of like the patterned beadlock bolt style, not the consistent ring around the outside, 2 spaced every so often around the 6-hole outer beadlock ring. They're fully machined. You clamp the tire on through the 6 holes on the backside. The hub is machined in. Along with those new wheels, they also had some new tires, or new old tires. These are the Thompson belted Baja claws. I think that these were, from what I remember, a tire that Thompson made quite some time ago. A very specific style, if maybe you remember them from back in the day. Size is a little bit in the middle though, so in case you're trying to look for kind of this oddball size, 4.45 inches tall. I always like seeing some tires in different size option ranges to, maybe fit those builds where people are looking for something specific. But check those both out on RC 4-wheel drive's website, and I'll link to them in the description below, as well as links to all of today's stories. And speaking of new wheels, Vanquish released a new beadlock wheel style. These are the KMC 455 Impact wheels. These were just released and are available in all of the colors: clear, black, gray, blue, red, orange, bronze, gold. That's all of them. Rdesigns released some new parts for UVS 410 Phoenix owners. These are some mini servo mounts that go in place of the standard servo mounts instead. These work great with servos similar to the Reefs 99. He also has a list of compatible servos in the product pages, but you'll find a mount for the dig servo, as well as a mount that goes where the shift servo goes, and it tucks it in real nice and low. So if you're trying to get some added detail or just want to keep the center of gravity extra low, pretty nice looking setup. Check these out on there. As well, when he released that, he also released a carbon fiber front electronics tray. You can mount your your receiver or your ESC, or whatever you would like up there in place of where a winch servo would typically go. You can see it carries quite a ways forward. Not sure if it affects how the body hinges or not, but you can always just pull the pin and lift the body off just the same. Looks like MFab is coming back. If you're not familiar with MFab, they were one of the early people who was doing some high quality prints of bodies. 3D printing bodies has become much more common these days, especially just for people at home who often have 3D printers, when they used to be a little bit less common. But MFab was one of the big names, had nice designs, nicely done bodies, and just one of the places that a lot of people liked to go. But they just disappeared for quite some time, and now they're back. So they had posted that up. I'll put a link to their social media in the description below in case you want to go check what they've got to offer if you're looking to purchase a 3D printed body. Maybe they have an oddball option that you haven't seen or you've been looking for specifically. Way back, we talked about the Cross WT4. This was that flatbed rollback truck. And at the time, I couldn't find a price. And then when I did hear a price, it was very high, like in the over $2,000 range. However, this is now available on their website for order. And it says that it's a pre-order and that it will ship as soon as it comes in, but the price is only $659.99. It is a kit, not an RTR. You're gonna have to finish it and do all that stuff yourself, but that's a great price for that truck. I expected much higher pricing. I was trying to go through and see if that was just like a deposit price and you're gonna have to pay the balance later, but $659, again, Cross does a great job on the bodies. The bed on this, I assume, will function or move nicely. I don't believe that's going to be powered for that money, as it doesn't include electronics, but still, that's a good deal. I think that they'll probably do well with that. Now, let's get into the big story of the week, and that was all of the shutdowns and cease and desist letters that were caused by Traxxas. Now, a number of websites of smaller brands were shut down last week, like the day after the news came out, and just completely shut down. And it was because of them carrying or manufacturing some Traxxas related parts, mainly TRX4M parts. Now that immediately got the attention of a number of people, but the reason that their websites were shut down was because they had products listed on their website in a way that violated US copyright law. It's not an opinion or anything like that. It's just how the law is. And Traxxas decided to exercise their right to go after those copyright infringements. Now, it's simply a matter of listing a part and saying that this is a Traxxas TRX4M diff cover in brass, instead of a brand X diff cover that fits or is compatible with the TRX4M. That's oversimplifying, but not by much. It's kind of just down those lines. This is just copyright law. Now, the part that riled a lot of people up is the fact that these websites just got shut down and didn't necessarily or suspectedly get the opportunity to change it before having their website shut down. And a lot of that was because the lawyers just contacted the web hosts of their websites. And some of those web hosts did reach out to these companies like a week in advance, but some of the companies just didn't see the initial contact, and then their website got shut down. Others said that they never saw a contact from their web provider and their website just disappeared. It appears at this point, almost everyone has had their websites reinstated and those products have been removed. And the result of all this is there's been a ton of anti-Traxxas talk and a lot of misinformation about it. A lot of the talk is just that it's trying to stifle the little guy and hold them back from, Traxxas wants just only their parts to sell. And it's not that, it's just them wanting things listed correctly. And this isn't something new. A lot of people just see it. This has been going on for years. There's been companies that well, small companies in our area that have had their website shut down like last November, December for the same thing. And it goes back years and years before that as well. People have got letters about this exact stuff for a very long time. This one just happened to hit all at once, and it made a great big tidal wave of social media news. So in the end, none of these companies have to stop selling any of the products that they were selling before. They're fully able and capable of selling the exact same products without any change other than some website changes. That's all that is required. However, the effects that it does have is that a lot of companies are just gonna be like, you know what? I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to risk it. It's a X percentage of my business that is not worth risking the other larger percentage. And they're just going to remove products. And this has happened a lot. And that's the part of it that does affect you as a consumer by some products just not becoming available, or these smaller vendors being like, I don't even want to risk it. I don't want to try and make anything for that platform. So I'm just going to stay out of it. And in that way, it does kind of become that, Traxxas pushing down the little guy, while not advertently, it still happens. So the crazy amount of Traxxas posting that's happened over the last week or so has been a lot fed on misinformation, a lot of just overhyping exactly what's been going on, and the fact that people just didn't know that this is nothing new. And this has nothing to do with like the big lawsuits that were going after patent infringement for designs over the years, which has happened many times, and there's many cases of it. This is a very different thing. Regardless of any of that though, it's definitely going to have put opinions in people's minds, and some people are just going to decide to purchase or not purchase products because of that. But I'd be interested to hear how you guys feel. Have you kind of combed through the information, finding what you feel is correct or not correct, and what is the opinion that you have finally landed on? It also sounds like that after everything that happened with this whole deal, the Traxxas may be putting up a page that kind of gives guidance specifically to vendors about this. Obviously, the amount of posting that went on was not unnoticed. And I did see that Traxxas reacted to some of the comments on those posts. So the outrage and the snowballing didn't go unnoticed. And following that Traxxas story with another one, every week I check registered trademarks from a number of the big brands in RC just to see if they've registered anything new. And it happened to be that this week, Traxxas happened to register a new trademark as well. A new one just got registered called the X Truck. That's it, X Truck. Just a very simple image registered to the US Patent and Trademark Office last week. So if it's a new 1/24 scale, maybe all of this can start connecting some dots, but I don't expect that any of it has anything to do with each other. Just an interesting coincidence. Next, new from Gensace last week was the Gensace D300 smart charger. This is very similar to the dual iMars charger that they released not so long ago, but this one incorporates the G-Tech smart technology. The nice thing about this technology is that it uses batteries that have a standard balance tap on them as well. So the nice thing about this charger is that it has a standard balance board in it. You can plug just your regular batteries into that and use it like normal. And the Gensace smart batteries also just have a regular balance tap on there with this extra little port. And that port is where the smart tech comes in. But it doesn't mean that you have to have a very special XT60 or EC or TR or whatever it is. It's got regular battery connectors, but the balance tap just has another information wire on it. I really like their approach, and I wish that something like that would have become the standard earlier. I love the idea of the smart batteries and the things that they can benefit from and the safety that they give to people who are maybe a little timid on it, or just the telemetry that it can give to you as far as cycles and cell health, all of the things that go with a battery that some of us just have felt out Wild West style for years. You can check out this charger and the batteries. I'll link to them in the description. Speaking of smart tech, Spektrum had a price drop on a bunch of their smart tech, including their battery and chargers and their charger and battery combos. So if you've been looking for more of those items or looking to jump into that area, check that one out. Next, some new products from Proline/Protoform, the hardest working division at Horizon Hobby, it seems. First, they've got that R34 body for the 1/7 scale Armas in a pre-painted version. This is the Bayside blue. I really like that body. It's the one that I've got on my 1/7 scale. It looks fantastic. You can get it already done. Next, 2022 NASCAR body for the Arma platform as well. This is the Ford Mustang NASCAR, which doesn't look anything like a Mustang, but if you're a NASCAR fan, you probably know that already. This comes as a clear body, and if you're a NASCAR fan, you probably really like it. Next, they released a pre-painted version of the Vendetta Mustang. That's for the slightly smaller infraction Vendetta platform. Same body as before, just pre-painted. And then in the no prep drag scene, they released this new Corvette Stingray. This thing looks really good. Obviously, we don't see nearly as many drag racing bodies released as we used to. Still plenty of body releases that come from some of the more boutique brands, but we don't see the same steamroll that No Prep had in the market just a couple of years ago. And even though we never cover this type, they also released some dirt oval tires, and we don't really cover that side, but dirt oval cars always just look super cool to me. I grew up around them, and I don't know, I think they're cool. This Wednesday morning, Road to the Rockies. This is, I think, episode 6, and I believe that you'll see my nearly completely completed Porsche carbon fiber body, as well as my titanium roll cage. So much done. Super excited to show you guys that. And then after that show, Wednesday evening, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, come hang out with Matt and I for Livestream Takeover. I did send a couple of direct messages to some of the people that were affected by the Traxxas stuff, just to talk to them, maybe get a little bit more insight about some of the either correspondence they either did or did not receive before it, just to do a little bit more discussing about everything and, trying to get all of the information in one place. I hope that we all have a smoother and a little bit less drama-filled week coming up. As always, thanks to all of you for watching the Scale News every Tuesday. Hit the like button if you enjoy it. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. As always, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.